So students, let us continue with the first duty of the deductor. And the first duty of the deductor is to obtain TAN. I have told you earlier that TAN is the identity of the deductor in the eyes of income tax. And this identification number, it is given who issues. So it is issued by the NSDL, National Securities Depository Limited. And a person who is responsible to collect tax at source or deduct tax at source needs to apply for getting this TDS or this TAN number. So for this TAN, as I told you, the application has to be submitted to the NSDL who will issue, and the submission can be online or offline. That means you can apply for TAN online as well as offline. For online, you have to submit it to NSDL TIN website, that is NSDL Tax Information Network website. And if you want to submit offline, then there are TIN, that is Tax Information Network Facilitation Centers, known as TIN FC. They are in many, in your local area also you will find. You can locate them on the net. So you can go to a TIN FC and submit your application for TAN offline also. And these are managed by NSDL, that is National Securities Depository Limited. So it is mandatory. The TAN has to be obtained. It is mandatory. Why it is mandatory? Because it has to be quoted by the deductor or collector in the TDS return or TCS return. Then there are some SFTs, that is some financial transactions that are recognized as SFTs. So in the statement of those special financial transactions, we need to mention the TAN. Then whenever payment of TDS or TCS is done, that means when the deductor or collector deposits the amount to the central government, it is through challans. So that is also in the challan also the TAN has to be mentioned. Then in the TDS or TCS certificate that is issued to the deductee, that for them also this, in that certificate also the TAN has to be mentioned. And there may be some other documents, but the most important are all this on which it is necessary to quote the TAN. Now, what is TAN? If someone asks what is TAN, you can tell good deal that it is issued, it is required for every deductor, and whatever I have explained, you can say. But say a note comes, question comes, write a short note on TAN, then you can write all these things also about TAN. It is what? It is a 10-digit alphanumeric number. Alphanumeric means consisting of alphabets as well as numbers. So it is a 10-digit alphanumeric number, and it is issued by Income Tax Department. Income Tax Department has authorized whom? NSDL to issue this. And the 10 digits are explained. Let me directly come to this. First 4 digits are alphabets, the next 5 digits are numbers, and again the last digit is an alphabet. Now what do these alphabets and numbers signify? You see first 3 alphabets of TAN are the jurisdiction code. For example, in Guwahati you will see most of the people, in Guwahati you will see the TAN first 3 digits is SHL. Okay, so first 3 digits will represent the jurisdiction code, the first 3 alphabets. Then the fourth fourth alphabet or the fourth digit is the initial of the name of the TAN holder. Suppose the name of the TAN holder is Ramesh or Rima, then it will be R. Okay, in case of Guwahati Commerce College, it will be G. Okay, so first 3 digit is the jurisdiction code, fourth digit is the initial of the name of the deductor. Then next 5 numbers, the next 5 digits are numbers, and they are system generated numbers, and even the last alphabet is system generated. So this is the composition, or you can say this is the numerical allotment of alphanumerical allotment of TAN. And in very few cases TAN is exempted. That means in every case TAN is not required. So what are the cases, distinct cases in which TAN is not required and only PANs of the deductor is sufficient in such case? So first one is if there is a purchase of immovable property having a sale price of 50 lakhs or more under this section. Okay, under this section, some many conditions are also there. So if those conditions are satisfied, then TAN need not be mentioned. Then in case of TDS on rent payments, where monthly rent payment is rupees 50,000 or above, this falls under section 194 IB. So in this case, it is IA, not 1A, okay? So in case of 194 IB, the TDS on rent payment, in such case also TAN is not required to be quoted. Then in case of persons who are making payment to resident contractors for an amount exceeding rupees 50,000 in a year, then provisions of section 194M apply and TAN is not required. And finally, if there is a purchase of goods exceeding 50 lakhs in a financial year, this falls under section 194Q. In this case also, TAN is not required. So basically, these are the 4 situations in which TAN is not required. So in my next class, I will be discussing on the remaining duties and liabilities of deductor and collector in relation to TDS or TCS. So thank you, students. Have a nice day, and please go through these things. All these things, especially in e-filing of return, I believe that things are not tough, but need some kind of memorization, because they are more than conceptual. They are content based, and you have to remember they are practical oriented situations. You have to remember which return, which section. So regular study is required, and a capacity to memorize few things, because not that you can write simply with your brain. You thought, you created something and you wrote, because here things are practical oriented, and you have to write what the situation is, what the process is, or what the concept is. Not your creativity does not work here. So please, dear students, pay attention to this subject, give time and study regularly, because once you are in touch with this subject and you study regularly, it is interesting, fascinating, and at the same time, it will be possible for you to remember the things if you are regularly studying the subject. So have a nice day again, and please study. Thank you.